morning. This is an item on education. Yesterday, I watched Cheryl Atkinson Full Measure, and I've always felt this. Money spent has absolutely nothing to do with outcome. Okay? That's why suicide rate, we in my area where there's a lot of suicides, it often is people well off. Okay? Not always, but often. Okay? So if money bought happiness, forget about it. It's a fact that divorce is worst among above average income people. Look it up. Divorce is worst among, if money bought happiness, rich people or better off income people shouldn't be getting divorced or screwing around their wives or husbands. Anyway, back to education. I've always felt this, but I finally get statistics, put some statistics in it. The state of Utah spends just regular in education. And I'll back up. You have this China virus, COVID, they called it, COVID. Okay, and people were learning online. Supposedly learning online. The problem was that the well-paid teachers teaching the kids online had no idea whether that laptop was turned on and they were sleeping in bed or playing with their smartphones, playing video games as the screen was on. They had no idea knowing how many of the students were watching the instructions. Whereas in school, supposedly if the teacher's on a ball, she can see, just at least know the kids are in the classroom, at least. Do a register call, at least that the kids are in the classroom. Whether they're all paying attention, that's another thing, and you can't blame that one on the teachers. If they're in class and don't pay attention, well, are not applying themselves, what can you do? Anyway, back to the thing. There's a real problem with kids under grade 8. If they don't get a certain amount of basic instructions, and to get into middle school and high school, 9, 10, 11, and 12, it screws up the education. And that's where right now in the United States, and statistics may be no different here, depends on the state and area, 10 to 25% of the students are truant. They don't attend school. 10 to 25% of students are not showing up in school. And they're attributing this back to this year and a half or so of online learning. Now, let me get to the meat of the matter. Utah, they're doing tests for reading ability. Some math skills but reading ability. Utah is very high. And they spend just moderate in education. Not poor, but moderate. Now, Washington State, not Washington, D.C., but the state of Washington, Petite Province, British Columbia, above the state of Oregon. And just to the east then would be Idaho. So Washington State is among the highest per capita spent in the Union, the 50 states Union. And they come in and they're at the very bottom of results and how the students are doing. Now you can say Utah are more minister, not drinking, not smoking, supposedly most of them, supposedly more family-oriented and so on, which they generally are. Maybe they get a little bit more home instruction, whatever. So we'll take Utah out of the picture if they're going to pick on that and religion. I'll add in North Carolina, which is a southern state. I add in Iowa and Indiana. So you got Iowa and Indiana. Iowa where corn grows tall, and Indiana, it's what the Hoosier state. It's home of Indiana Jones and a lot of manufacturing there and so on. And they're great people, those states, Midwest, heartland of America. And, of course, wonderful Southerners in North Carolina. So North Carolina, Indiana, and Iowa, plus Utah, they spend moderate in education per capita. And they score at or near the top in outcome. And Washington State stands out as blowing their brains out spending money. And they're near the very bottom of the 50 states union. So it goes back to spending money has nothing to do with outcome. We have a complete idiot here for premier, one terrible Timid, I call him. He's going to spend money in healthcare, whatever it takes, going to fix healthcare. Look, if money was going to fix healthcare, well, we're spending education in Nova Scotia per student right now, which is about $20,000. How's it go? It's the high teens, $18,000 in high school and get in junior high and high school, it gets up to about 20. And so you're spending $15,000 to $20,000 per student to send kids to school. That figures up about 4 or 5-fold from what it was going back a couple of decades. Way above great inflation. So if spending money made a bet, its education system we have is fair at best, and many people would say poor. It's fair at best to be charitable. Fair at best. If money spent gave a good education system, boy, oh boy, they should be coming from Sweden and Switzerland and Britain and United States all running to Nova Scotia to get a seat in the classroom. Spending money has nothing to do with outcome. With that, I got to go, and it's a fact that the states that spend more per capita, like Washington State, are having at the bottom echelon of students' ability on reading, comprehension, math, and so on. And the states that spend moderate, Utah, North Carolina, Indiana, Iowa, are at the top. So it proves factually that spending money has nothing to do. Money expended has nothing to do with outcome. And you can say that in a lot of things in life. It's not just education and healthcare, but those are such big components of the budget. I use those two as examples. With that, I got to go. All the best. God bless. Bye for now.